face! Hammer down!
Welcome back, Overwatch fans. This is day 2 of Stage 3, and we are live with the 2019 Overwatch League season, where 8 more teams will kick off their second half today. The Paris Eternals started strong in Stage 2 before fizzling down the stretch with 4 straight losses. Today, they look to get back on track, going up against the Toronto Defiant. Toronto was our 3rd place team after one stage, but dropped all the way down to 11th in Stage 2. Both of these teams are hoping to climb in the standings in Stage 3, and they'll get their first chance in 30 minutes. June 7th is Pride Day here inside the Blizzard Arena, and our all-accepting fans are streaming in to celebrate with some high-level Overwatch action. Are you guys ready? It's gonna be a party. Welcome, everybody. It's the Watchpoint Pre-Show presented by State Farm. I'm your host, Chris Bucket, and I brought the whole team. So you look ready for the day.
Yeah, it's a total accident, of course.
Of course.
yeah. I didn't plan it
The
at
rainbow
all.
dress, it just happened to be here. I like it. Bren, you're wearing glitter for the 2nd time this week.
Yeah, I don't know if it's showing up, though. I don't know if you can actually
think
see
it is.
Oh, it is a little
Yeah,
bit.
no,
There you
it
go.
is.
Yeah.
You always
Beautiful,
sparkle,
beautiful.
Brent. You always sparkle on
Thank
these
you, like a
days.
diamond.
I like it. Of course, Pride Day last year was so amazing. We expect to have another fantastic day here in the building, and it's going to be in big part because of the matches. We got a lot of great matches coming your way today. Let's talk about the first one. The New York Excelsior have lost 3 of their last 4, including the stage playoffs. Jonak and friends are back to make a statement today. Plus, as we celebrate Pride Day in the Overwatch League, we'll get to know one of our amazing LGBTQ superfans. It's Alex Parrish. He's here today. And of course, Stage 3 is just getting underway. So we'll hand out some of the most likely twos for our 3rd quarter of league action. When the pros take the stage here in the Blizzard Arena, it's Paris versus Toronto up first, followed by Boston against the London Spitfire. Later, Houston will battle the New York Excelsior, and the Los Angeles Gladiators will take their hometown stage against the Dallas Fuel. Los Angeles sits in 5th place with Dallas right behind them in 6th overall. It's their 5th matchup of all time, with each team so far taking 2 matches. The Gladiators had a strong Stage 2, finishing with just 1 loss, Zoe. But when we think about the league's top teams, are the Gladiators being overlooked?
I would say so, actually. I mean, the score was great, 6-1, only actually losing 1 match in the regular stage 2. And if we're looking at that, those are not like weak teams either. Those were teams which were hard to beat, and they have done phenomenal. Yes, they fell very short in the actual stage playoffs as they dropped out in the quarterfinals, and it was quite a sweep there. Let's be real. But I do think they have been overlooked. They have made great changes during Stage 1, adding DK, and once he settled in, what's your love?
Sorry, it was the shore-for pointy handshake thing.
No, I didn't actually look at that,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm sure it was very funny. But yeah, I think since they added DK, they really have been on an upward trajectory. So I do think we shouldn't count them out just yet as
Definitely
a top team.
keep your eyes on the Gladiators. Brent, on the other side, we've got a very tough Fuel squad that is looking to upgrade here. They're bringing in Trill, and this is somebody that we met back at the World Cup. One of the funniest people we saw back at the after party.
Yeah, he can get a bit rowdy at times,
bit.
but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about his gameplay. The guy is phenomenal. Right now, I believe he's on a flight coming over to LA. And you might be thinking, you know, what need do they have for this main time? But this guy is phenomenal. He's been playing pretty much on 300 ping for the longest time. If you don't know what it means he's playing with like a brain lag of like 6 seconds. You know, it's very difficult.
quite.
A huge delay.
That's the math. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the mathematics work out, Joshua Wilkinson. But the guy is an absolute star, and it's good that he's finally breaking out of the Oceanic region and now is getting the opportunity to potentially perform on the main stage. Won't be playing today, obviously. As I've said, he's on a flight, but he is an absolute sickeningly good talent.
Some new faces potentially coming in for the Fuel as the stage goes on, but today we know we're going to see some new look in the compositions. Josh, we always see great comps from these teams. What are you expecting in this matchup?
Yeah, minimal triple tank, triple support, I think, is what's going to happen because the way that the map pool plays out, but more importantly, the way that these two teams match up tends to lend itself to a lot of creativity. This is the Dallas Fuel and one of their pioneered compositions on Paris defense, where they have Note, who normally plays the Diva, over on the right-hand side of your screen, taking on Orisa. And then they have OG still playing Winston. A weird composition, works really well for them on the Paris A defense. Gladiators run something kind of similar as well. And when you look at Gladiators, one of their classic compositions is this, the Hanamura point A defense. Again, revolving around on Orisa. We're seeing a lot more of that in the league, and they don't run it with the Bastion all the time. They have a Junkrat, they have the Mei, who can boost people into position, and they like to run Decay on the Widowmaker at times. These are creative teams, and with the map pool that we currently have, with Hollywood coming back in, we normally see triple tank, triple support, but I could see that both of these teams experimented with Orisa. And Havana, we've only seen it once so far in the league, and we saw a bunch of opportunities for these bunker compositions. It seems very defensively favored. So I'm expecting some creativity coming out from both of these teams.
It's going to be a fun one to watch for sure. And from two teams that we just see in the top 6 battling out, we got to talk about a few other teams, 2 franchises that have met up in the past. It's the 12th place Boston Uprising taking on the 4th place London Spitfire. Boston is 2-3 of all time against our reigning Grand Finals champions, but London went 6-1 in stage 2, while Boston is coming off just their 2nd losing stage. So, Brent, what direction can Boston move in to find more success?
Yeah, well, I said at the start of stage 3, I want to start to see a lot of these teams, these middle-of-the-pack teams, these lower half teams, to start moving away from the triple tank, triple support, start playing the Sombra goats. That's what I want to start to see more and more. But in particular, their strengths lie in the fact that they've got people that can play these unique roles. Blase is a fantastic Doomfist player, and RCK has been flexing more and more over to the Sombra already. This gives Boston a lot of options in what they want to run. If you've been watching Korean contenders, you'll know that Element Mystic have been playing a similar composition where they run a Doomfist and a Sombra at the same time, pretty much exclusively. And that's what they've been running with and sort of having a lot of success with in the Korean scene. So these are options that Boston could pursue if they wanted to. They've got the flexibility there. And we know Boston are a team that like to sort of flex around a little bit these days as well. The coaching staff is very good at sort of using all of the pieces they've got.
Josh, on the other side, London, they went 6-1 in stage 2, but then went out in the very first round of the playoffs. How strong do you expect the Spitfire to be today?
It's so difficult to tell with this London Spitfire team, isn't it? Last stage, like you said, 6-1, but they lose to Chengdu towards the end. Then they drop to the Spark in the playoffs, which was a massive upset, ruined Malik's bracket. He had them going the whole way, which I didn't agree with at the time, but there you go. So I don't know where to put this London Spitfire team. They look so good, and then they disappoint. And at this point, I've lost faith in them.
I think London.
Yeah, it is.
Classic
and it has
England.
become classic England. Yeah, it is in every sports across the world. But for this team, they are supposed to be the defending champions. They are the defending champions.
Yep.
They're supposed to be contesting the best in the league. At the moment, I still think they have a long way to go before they are at that level where we can talk about them as the top 4. And right now, they have all to prove. They have it all to prove.
They really do. We see some changes coming in for them, which should... I mean, I think it's good to alleviate some of the pressure or just the strain from some of the players, just to be able to have someone coming in and out. Quartermain just recently joined them. He will be the one who most likely will be filling in for Nuss. Not sure if that's going to happen very often. However, it would be great to have him see some play time. He's been doing pretty great. I don't know how many of you are actually familiar with him. He played in Kongdu Unsia as well as Morningstar Black and several other teams. So he's been around since 2016 or something like that. However, they also have versatility in their lineup, which we just recently saw with Gesture. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
right. You know where this is going.
Oh, he flexed so hard.
Yeah, no, he flexed hard over Bren, and we didn't think
is
it possible that Bren can, be humbled in such a manner. But it was, look at that.
I don't want to see this.
I want to see this.
Overpowered.
I don't want to see this.
Overpowered.
Yeah, and this is something we might be able to expect from Gesture now on a day.
On a regular
He's got a
basis.
There we go.
His rank is 4,600 on Widowmaker.
That's pretty-
All right.
He's phenomenal.
We'll get to more of that later, Brent. For now, let's keep moving on the show. Coming off of that big loss in the 1v1 was Brenji in New York. Well, they've had some losses of their own. 3 of their last 4, in fact. Jonak and the NYXL are looking to reclaim the top spot in the Overwatch League. Can they get it done? We'll tell you next on the Watchpoint Pre-Show, presented by State Farm.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
The Houston Outlaws and New York Excelsior are both looking forward to getting Stage 3 underway. Houston had their first winless stage in Stage 2, while New York dropped their last 2 regular season matches and lost in the stage semifinals. So, Zoe, is there any reason for the NYXL fans to be concerned about their team right now?
I mean, you always have a slight reason to be concerned about things when you're watching Overwatch. Overall, however, I do think since we did discuss like, oh, their playstyle, you know, like it doesn't really work anymore in this meta, I think they've proven us wrong. I do think when we saw them playing in the playoffs, they proved that they can hang. And despite the final results, they did phenomenal. I was very, very much impressed with what we saw, which was something we haven't really seen at the beginning of Stage 2, where they really looked like they're actually starting slacking, not to mention that they lost against Atlanta Reign twice in a row, and there wasn't really a good excuse for it. But overall, it's not really an issue of playstyle anymore. They are still a force to be reckoned with.
I'm gonna ignore the big picture when I'm looking at New York Excel for a short moment, and I'm gonna focus on an individual basis, which is Mano as an individual, because we talked about this guy and we had a discussion earlier in the season about whether this guy is currently the best main tank in the league. I think he dropped down on the radar, especially I think he dropped down the list in a couple of people's rankings, but I still think he does deserve that top 5 spot, and the guy is very consistently good. Still a phenomenal talent on this team that we need to point out, and often, you know, he kind of slips by these days. Big names like Super and Bumper seem to be all the rage that we're talking about, you know, even OG when he's having a phenomenal game himself. But Mano, he's still getting it done, and he's still going to be a core central part of this team.
Josh, I think anybody who lives outside of the Houston area is expecting New York to be the favorites in this matchup today. But let's talk about the Outlaws. This is a fresh stage. You didn't get a single win in Stage 2. What are you looking to do to improve this squad in Stage 3?
You're looking to find some wins, and if they don't, they're going to be playing to avoid being the worst team in the league at the moment. It looks like they're not going to be making any roster changes. They're kind of locked into the squad that they have. So it's about finding what works for you as a team. I know it seems like a tired thing to return back to, but we've seen different compositions have success across contenders. We've seen some teams in the league have success with it, and yet some teams are just hammering through this triple tank, triple support the whole way. Houston, stop, please. Let's see some cool stuff coming out from you. You've got Muma on the Orisa.
Bringing this back, are you?
Yeah, who's actually a superb Orisa player. It's one of his best heroes by a long shot. And we've seen Orisa comps work. Contenders, in ranked, we've seen it in the Overwatch League now. The map pool is good for it. I want to see bunker compositions coming out from the Houston Outlaws. Pick something that you can really make your own style and run with it, because it didn't work last stage. You got 0 wins, 0. You're better than that, Houston. Come on.
Give me some more J-Crat. I'm ready for it. Well, guys, as we mentioned earlier, today is Pride Day, and we are celebrating the mutual support between the Overwatch League and the LGBTQ community here at the Blizzard Arena. Some awesome folks in here today. The Overwatch League prides itself in welcoming players and fans of all walks of life, regardless of background or lifestyle. Today, we want to take a moment to acknowledge some of the biggest fans in the LGBTQ community, and we hung out with the Overwatch League superfan. One of my favorites, it's Alex Parrish, to find out why the Overwatch League experience is special for him and for everyone.
Hi, my name's Alex Parrish, and I'm an Overwatch League superfan. What keeps me coming back to so many games is just the environment of being here, seeing the players up close, hearing the sounds, the crowd, the hype, the energy of the arena. It's just so much fun to be here on the floor when it's happening. I just had to keep coming back.
Tonight, they're coming out, waving the flags, getting the crowd pumped up.
I'm not a traditional sports fan. I grew up in Dallas, Texas, so cowboy country, and every Super Bowl, while the family was in one room watching, I was somewhere else. So I never thought I would be a sports person until I started coming to the Overwatch arena. And then as I got like a flag and jerseys, and I'm caring about like player stats and standings, I realized that I was a sports fan.
We got a great day of Overwatch action ahead of us.
I think it's important that the Overwatch League has taken a day to celebrate Pride. I mean, the flagship character of the game, Tracer, she's a woman in a relationship with a woman, and so it's like right there up front, there's a lot of queer space in this game. I think it's great that the Overwatch League, as an organization, especially a new organization, is being part of the vanguard, celebrating Pride so openly.
It is Pride Day here at the Blizzard Arena.
traditional sports are not as forward with their pride events as Overwatch League, I think it does help Overwatch League stand out.
Love rules, damn it. Doesn't matter who it's with, love is awesome. And we're here to celebrate people who love who they love unapologetically.
Because our community is so diverse, it makes it a great space for the LGBTQ community. And having so many fans who are also women and people of color, it makes it a more inclusive space. If I had a message for any fan who was LGBTQ or an ally or questioning, and they wanted to come to the arena, I would definitely encourage them to. There are plenty of good folks who will recognize you and speak with you and acknowledge you. And from someone who came here one random March last year and just another face in the crowd to being someone asked to be sitting here speaking to you, it's because of the fan community and the fan support. So you're definitely welcome here in this space. And if no one else will talk to you, I'll talk to you. So just come find me. I'm here every day. So you have one friend here.
Give it up for one of our favorite people that we see every day here in the Blizz Arena. There is Alex with his patented wigs. Love it, buddy. As we continue to celebrate Pride Week, head over to gear.blizzard.com and pick up a collectible Pride pin. The proceeds from these pins sales will go towards the Trevor Fund, the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. Coming up on the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm, we'll hand out some most likely twos for Stage 3, including who these analysts think will take home the final stage title of the season. It's the Watchpoint pre-show. We'll be right back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
At the beginning of each stage, we like to give these knuckleheads a chance to predict what's going to happen in the weeks to come. So here is our Stage 3 installment of Most Likely To. Let's get the big one out of the way here first. I want to ask who is most likely to win Stage 3, but I want to spice it up. Don't just write your answer. Draw the logo. I'm going to give you all 10 seconds. You ready?
10 seconds.
I can't draw.
9. Start drawing. 8.
Wait, we're drawing now?
7. 6. Who's going to win, Brett? 5. 4. Josh, I'll give you an extra 4 seconds because that is terrible. 3, 2,
I don't know.
1. Reveal.
This is a logo. What is yours? Is that what? I think we've drawn the same team and we don't know what the logo
I've forgotten what the logo looks
I
like.
thought it was like a
shock.
Is
I
that
thought
the
it was
shock? Brett did like a snake.
I thought it was like a bunch of lines that were supposed to look like a
I think
shock
you're
thing.
That's close, but I
It's
think
the
mine's
S,
closer.
The F, and then it's the lines underneath.
What did you
Mine's
draw?
Mine's a
That's the
lightning bolt.
Vancouver Titans.
What is that?
We were only given black.
Well done.
Well, that's
done.
how
Give it
good
up
I
for
am.
Zoe. I like that answer a lot. Let's keep this rolling. Next up, wipe your boards. We're going again. Most likely to go winless in Stage 3. You can just write this one out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's good enough, Zoe. Justice. No one. and the Outlaws for Brent.
The Outlaws play against Florida, so one of them two has to get a win. And I think Washington
Listen,
play against
I'm not going to lie, Josh.
Paris and someone else.
I panicked. I thought I had to put down a team. This is the only team that came to my mind. It came naturally. I've already made the claim
They
twice.
can't go
Well,
back
I'm
to
just
back.
mean, so there we go.
It is mean.
You guys ready for another one? Last one, and probably the most important one. Who is most likely to purchase a subscription to Brent's Health Magazine?
Oh, I know
It
exactly.
could be anybody.
What is it? Tips on how to be a healthy Overwatch analyst. Well, the man who most wants to be an Overwatch analyst.
Oh! Reinforce. Brent will buy his own magazine.
He will.
I got Mitch
He will.
Leslie.
Mitch Leslie.
Mitch has been asking me for weeks for tips on how to obtain this body.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
not giving in yet.
Okay, that's enough of this, guys. I'm done with all of that. These three have no use for the Brent's Health subscription, clearly. And of course, neither do these three. Mono, Gesture, and OG. Their bodies are perfect, and so is their gameplay. They'll take the stage later today. The action is moments away. Don't go anywhere. We got predictions coming up after this. Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League. We're getting close to that first match, and here is a look at the Paris Eternal getting ready on the stage. Nico and crew looking to start off stage 3 with a big win. It's not going to be easy, though, because they're going up against the Toronto Defiant, who has brought in some new pieces. Will we see them in play? We'll find out in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday on Watchpoint, we told you how 15 of the 20 teams have designed their own alternate jerseys to be worn here in Week 1. All 8 teams today, well, they're playing with their alt jerseys, and you guys saw Paris and Toronto's, so let's take a look at some of the others. You ready for this one, Josh? It's the Boston's alternate jersey, and I'm told the vertical lines embody their Boston up chant.
Yeah, I mean, they go up and they go down. There isn't really an arrow that signifies which way they're going, so it could easily work both ways.
5 lines for game 5. I like
kinda
that.
Clean. Oh, yeah, game
I
5.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny. I didn't think
I'm a big fan of this.
Never.
the Spitfire going with the pink look to honor pilots from World War II.
Gesture looks so happy.
I got to be honest, I don't
Wait,
understand
what?
the
Does he
pink
know?
reference for World War II, but there you go. I'm sure someone will tweet at us saying that we don't know anything about our own country's history.
Yeah,
But
I
there we
mean,
go.
Sure. You
It
know,
looks nice, though.
Pink used to be associated as like a male color.
Yeah.
You know that?
No, but it doesn't particularly surprise me. These things.
This one is great.
Awesome.
The Outlaws paying homage to another storied Houston sports franchise. I love this one. What do you guys think? You don't know baseball.
No, I don't. But it looks
Yeah.
stylish. I mean, it looks slick. I feel like they've taken a lot
It looks
of...
edible. It's a very
looks
choosy, nice
edible.
Granny
It does.
Smith
Edible.
green.
It
does look edible.
Edible.
Let's move on from edible jerseys to the NYXL.
Nah.
They used their third
Oh.
jersey to celebrate the New York skyline. I love this.
I
As a
think that
former
looks
New
so
Yorker,
good.
this is awesome.
That
Yeah.
looks awesome. I love how the skyline pops out of their logo.
I like the asymmetry.
Oh, it's a skyline.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they
God.
just messed up.
Jeez, Brent. The Gladiators alternate jersey shows love to the Latino and arts communities here in Los Angeles. Hydration showing off the lion.
I
And
like that one.
And of course, we've got the Dallas Fuel. Last but not least, I love Mickey's all black.
Why does Mickey look
The
like an
classic
action figure?
grayscale look.
Mickey is tensing so hard. Look at him.
No, this is
trying.
natural. What you
There we
talking
go. You'll see all those jerseys today, and of course, they're on sale. But let's get into the predictions. Everybody's going Paris over Defiant. It looks like we've got Brenji, though, picking up London over Boston, and the Fuel over the Gladiators, with everyone taking the NYXL. But today, for this face-off, I gotta defend Toronto here. What are you guys thinking? Toronto is 7-7. They're bringing in Gods, who is not only the funniest, but also the best-looking player on his team now, the tallest player, and the one who's gonna be putting up all the gold medals today. How are you gonna beat Gods in this Toronto Defiant?
Well, for starters, I mean, sorry, I'll take this one
Yeah,
here.
okay, you go.
They're going from a Korean roster to a mixed language roster. They're going backwards in that. No team has done that before. Does God know Korean? I don't think God knows Korean. Does he?
No,
You tell me.
they're going to be speaking English, which I think could be a bit of an issue. And Paris are also really good on Paris. They got the home field advantage. I could see it.
So, any final thoughts?
Well, that's pretty much what they said. I think Paris has this one.
There we go, guys. That's it for the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games.